Attention! Attention! May I have everyone's attention? It's almost time. So while you're waiting, get a piece of paper out, something to write with. I don't care if it's a pencil, pen, marker, lipstick. I don't care what it is. Then get your movie ready to where all you have to do is press play and get any snacks and drinks you want while waiting, because we're gonna have a blast once we start. Enjoy.
Yo, 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 what's up everyone? Hope everyone is having a fantastic night tonight. I got myself, some snacks for tonight, so I got myself a little bag of Takis, baby. I'm ready. What a week though, what a week. I got through it. It was a busier week, but I got through it. Hope you guys have had a good, decent week, Hope you guys are doing well. What's up, Bedazzle? What's up, Zeker? Groot, Pooey, Joshua, Aiden, Dylan? Hope you guys are all doing well. You guys ready for Attack of the Clones? For anybody that's new here, if you guys are, kind of wondering what this is, or any details about it, I went ahead and pinned my comment to the link of the video that goes over all that info. I go into depth on it. Same thing, chat. If anybody new comes in and they don't read the description or click on that, you could literally just link them to the video. And there we go. I made it for those new, mainly for the new people, for you guys too. But for the most part, if you guys are here, I've kind of already explained it to you guys. So right now I'm at 0-0. We're gonna be starting the timer in just a second here. I just want to make sure everybody's ready. What's up, Safe? How's it going, dude? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, that was a commando theme. That was a commando theme. From Republic Commando. So that music was in the Clone Wars era. All right, you guys ready? Hello, Gray. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good, Joshua. Thanks for asking, man. Doing all right. Got through a busy week, But hopefully this next week's gonna be a little bit less. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. How do I watch it? You can do it through like Disney Plus or any way you're able to watch it. But if anybody decides to join late, just let them know. Hey, you can join where we're at in the timer if they want to do that, or they could just do whatever. Wait, please. All right, hurry, hurry. That's why I try and have that announcement before the stream starting. That way it gives you guys a minute to hook it up. Hurry, hurry, hurry. I'll give you like 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna start it. It's like I said, I explain like why I don't talk and stuff too very much. Sometimes I do. I'll give my commentary a little bit here and there. All right, ready? All right, here we go. We're getting started here. Let me pull up the timer. All right, here we go, guys. In 3, 2, 1. Go. Yeah, Annie, life isn't fair. It's Dex! Remember that librarian. She'll be important. And guys, remember, Sifo Dyas. We're going to learn more about him in the Clone Wars show. Metaphor. Talk about it after, but it's a metaphor. In a way. Oh yeah. That evil child. Yes, the seismic charge, baby. Oh, that's so satisfying. Dang, dude. Pay attention to the shadow. Some foreshadowing moments. Here we go. He ain't messing around, man. That music and everything. Notice that guy that they just showed with the banking clan. We'll get some more backstory off of him in the Clone Wars as well. Notice the music in the background. Imagine this is a zombie game, dude. That'd be so sick. I absolutely love Obi-Wan's face, man, when he sees him. Look at here. Notice what Anakin's doing. We'll get into more about this in Star Wars Rebels. Oh yeah, this is where the fun begins. Let's go, baby. Dude, this movie never gets old. Oh yeah, baby, let's go. Dude, I love this movie. Oh, I love the Clone Wars, baby. Alrighty, let me go ahead and pause it since it's just credits. Alright, so what do you guys have down on your guys' paper? Anybody have any questions? What do you guys want to talk about? First off, let's just take a minute here and point out that there was a ton of evidence for, the theory of Darth Jar Jar. I mean, let's be real here. So much evidence that we could just pile up from that movie. And I know, obviously, they have some writing that could have been better, but overall, I am perfectly fine with how they did it, because that contributes more to Anakin's character. Him being whiny is part of it. He's blinded by his arrogance and all this other thing. We saw tons of flaws. That's what this is about. It's about Anakin Skywalker, the chosen one. You know what I mean? And he's just not perfect, like, someone in the sequels. All right, not naming any names, but I think you know what I'm saying. He has flaws, and we get to see them in this movie, and that's part of character development. A lot of people don't like him whiny, but I don't care what they like. This is how it is, and if they don't see that that's part of character development, then that's on them. But anyways, I love this film. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's pretty epic. Same. What a great movie. Yeah. One big question from me. All right, yeah. Shoot away, man. Shoot away. What do you think? I wrote a couple more things down as well. I would love to see more of Anakin and Obi-Wan in between the timeline from episode 1 and 2. Think about it, right? Like, for you guys that have seen the Clone Wars, we get to see kind of like Ahsoka, right? And she was a character that everybody loved. We got to see a lot of her flaws and her being trained by Anakin Skywalker and stuff. Imagine that, but with Obi-Wan and Anakin in between episodes 1 and 2. I feel like that would be absolutely amazing. Even in show form, I feel like we could get a lot of content, in that era that we would... I don't know. I think I'd love that. Favorite scene? Mine is easily the Annie Speeder scene with Duel of the Fates. Dude, I gotta say, mine would probably be... Ooh, that's a hard one. There's a lot of good ones. But mine would... If I had to pick, mine would probably be the Battle of Geonosis scene. Where all the Jedi and stuff are fighting and then the clones come in. That would probably be my favorite part for sure. My favorite scene in the whole movie. That ending, man. I feel like all the Star Wars, they all have their good parts in between and stuff, but it's like the final scene of each movie. They just hit it on the nose every single time. Every time. You got episode 1, we got Darth Maul. We got the whole Geonosis and Yoda versus Dooku in episode 2. Episode 3, if you guys, I won't spoil it. I'll just keep it about episode 2. I won't spoil, but you guys get what I'm saying if you guys have seen it. It's absolutely amazing, Why did Master Sifo Dyas start the clone army, and how did he find Kamino? Boom, I'm glad you asked that, because we're going to be getting a lot of that info in the Clone Wars. So if you haven't seen the Clone Wars show, then keep on coming to these watch parties. Because next up, we got the Clone Wars movie, and then we're diving right into the Clone Wars show. And there's actually like a few episodes dedicated to that. And they talk about like Lord Tyrannus and Sifo Dyas and stuff. And basically, that's where you get more character development for Plo Koon and his squad, right? You got the Wolf Pack. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of good stuff that's coming out of the Clone Wars for sure. And that's when Obi-Wan Kenobi finds out about Lord Tyrannus. He finds out that Dooku's Lord Tyrannus in the Clone Wars. I remember in that episode, he's all, Lord Tyrannus? He was like, what? Wait a second, you're Lord Tyrannus? But yeah, in fact, that was the last time, I remember that. That was when they were on Kessel. And if I remember correctly, that was the last time that Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Dooku all fought together before episode 3. So that quote from episode 3, where Anakin tells him, his powers is basically doubled, you know what I mean? He's like, oh, twice the pride, double the fall, or whatever, right? Think about it as that being their last fight. You get to see how powerful Anakin has become throughout the Clone Wars and stuff, And just between that, and who knows, maybe there was going to be another fight after that. We would never know because, Disney bought Star Wars from George Lucas, which means, they canceled Clone Wars, which sucks. Oh, man. People, I don't know. I mean, I get why people were excited when Disney bought it, but I don't know. I wasn't really that excited. I mean, I was a little bit, But I was like, no, why'd they cancel Clone Wars? You know, like George Lucas may have not like kept on doing the movies, but he was still doing the shows. So yeah, that was a little of a bummer. My teacher, what are you laughing at? I'm pretty sure I have the Clone Wars movie on disc, but I'll miss most of the TV show since I don't have Disney Plus. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't. I'm gonna try and find something that I mean I doubt any. I know Netflix used to have it, but I'm gonna like check in because I know a lot of you guys are in different countries and stuff. I'm gonna try and figure out something out for you guys that don't have it. I'm not promising anything, but I'm gonna look into it, do some research, and maybe figure out something. You know what I mean? So yeah, me, Lord Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yeah, but no, this was definitely a good movie. There's a couple things I wanted to talk about as well. So yeah, we talked about Sifo Dyas. I also wrote that down, right? And the librarian. Okay, that librarian, she actually has a lot of backstory, not only in Legends, but also in the Clone Wars. Kind of. I say kind of because, she's in a couple episodes, but we don't necessarily get like a whole lot of backstory on her. But I said just to remember her because she does have some parts of it, and you know, who knows? Maybe sometime in the future they're gonna bring something in from Legends. But she played a big role in Legends during Order 66 as well. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything because for you guys that haven't seen Clone Wars, you guys are in for a treat. You guys are in for a treat for sure. How do you reckon this movie's soundtrack goes up against the others? Ooh. I mean, I love all of them. Especially since we just got through watching episode 1 last week. You know, that's kind of fresh in my brain. And then we watched this. If I had to pick the soundtrack from episode 1 or 2, I think I'd pick episode 2. But, you know, episode 1 has Duel of Fates, man. Like, how could you go against that? I don't know exactly how I would score that. That would be a lot of thinking. I would have to watch kind of all of them, kind of like what we're doing, kind of recent. That way I have them all kind of in my head, and I'll be like, yeah, I could probably do a ranking, but it'd take a lot of thinking. Because I'm like, oh, this one has this one has this one. That's why I like the music track for all of them, you know? They're all really good. John Williams is a masterpiece. He's a master is what I'm saying at his work. He made a lot of masterpieces for sure. She died to the attack on the temple in a deleted scene. Yeah, there's a lot of deleted scenes that, you know, were changed, didn't make it, all kinds of different stuff. One of them, you know, Shaak Ti has been in so many deleted scenes, it's unreal. And it was that whole deal, right, of how did she actually die? Because Grievous killed her in a scene, then Anakin killed her in a scene. It's all over the place with Shaak Ti. They're like, it's like George Lucas did not know or George Lucas didn't know who wanted to kill her, basically, or something like that, you know? And then in the Clone Wars series, right, because I think Grievous went ahead and stabbed her, like, in the neck, somewhere around that area, and then I think Anakin stabbed her in the chest, I believe, from in the back or something, if I remember correctly from the deleted scene. But in the Clone Wars animated series, when towards the end of season 6, if I remember correctly, we have Yoda having those Force visions. I don't remember if that was the Darth Bane episode or not. I can't remember, but I know it was where he was like kind of picturing the future and stuff, and one of the things he saw was Shaak Ti dying. You kind of saw a blue lightsaber kind of go through her. I think it was in the chest. So from that moment on, I'm like, oh, okay, so Anakin killed her or whatever. But, right, in Clone Wars Season 7, when Dave Filoni went back to it, it was basically confirmation for me that Grievous killed her or something, right? Because they briefly mentioned that Shaak Ti went to go help the Chancellor, you know? So I'm pretty sure that's how she would have died, by Grievous's hand. And I kind of wish they kept that in the movie when Grievous killed Shaak Ti, but, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Welcome back, Towers. Welcome back. But yeah, in my mind, she died by Grievous's hand because of Clone Wars Season 7. So that's kind of where my head's at, you know? I have to go, Gray. I'll join the stream tomorrow. Take care. Have a great rest of your night. All right, same to you, Joshua. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the film. But yeah, I think that's all I have. You guys want to talk about anything else? Any plot holes that you may have seen, because to me everything makes sense in episodes 1 and 2. So if you guys have any plot holes that's like giving you that little bit of doubt or questions, then let me know and I'll try my best to fill you in. Maybe you guys have something that I didn't even think about. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff, a lot of Easter eggs and stuff that ends up happening in that film. Mace, we are keepers of the peace. Also, Mace chops a dude's head off. I mean, in all fairness, though, Jango went out of his way to go ahead and kill him. And, I mean, kind of rightfully so if you think about it, right? Because, think about it. You have Obi-Wan down there, you got Anakin down there in the arena, and you got Padme. Right before all the Jedi start igniting their lightsabers and start kicking butt, right? He walks straight out, right? And just ignites his lightsaber right in front of Jango's face. You gotta believe that scared the crap out of Jango. Like, mentally, like, like, oh crap, man, he could have just chopped off my head. And I felt like that's one of the reasons why Jango saw him on the, the battlefield and went after him specifically, because he did that. Unless, at least in my mind, right? Because I'm like, why else would he go after him, right? Just because a purple lightsaber? I don't think so. I think he's all like, hey, this guy snuck up on me, and not a lot of people can do that. You know what I mean? Obviously, Jango's face didn't really give on much, but I mean, he's a Mandalorian, so you're not gonna get that from that reaction from him. But still, it was enough for him to go down there to go and try and kill him. So it's in the back of his mind, and he relied on his jetpack a little too much. That's how a lot of Mandalorians do die. They rely too much on their gadgets, which rightfully so. I mean, if they are going against a Jedi or a Sith, you better be relying on your stuff. You don't got the Force, So what else you got? So I don't blame Jango, but it was just kind of that bad luck that hit him. Jetpack was broken, and there goes his head. Got a little too cocky and got to his head. And that's another thing I like too about the whole character development between the Fets and Mace, because even in the Clone Wars they dive in deeper into Boba as a kid, that little evil child, dude. That's okay. Let me tell you, before Clone Wars was out, okay, I would always be asked this: who do you like better, Jango or Boba? I would always say Jango, because Boba has not earned my respect in any way, shape, or form. What has he done? Just look cool on screen? Okay, cool. How does that beat Jango, though? We get to see Jango do quite a bit in this movie. Not a whole lot, but we got to see him go against Obi-Wan, right? Him kind of stand a chance against Mace, like a little, like he went to go fight him, He knows how to shoot his shots, you know what I mean? Like, we get to see him do a little bit, you know what I mean? But once the Clone Wars came out, they brought in some more things that Boba did as a kid, and I'm like, okay, now he's starting to earn my respect, because if we're seeing him do all this crap as a kid, imagine what he's doing when he's older too, Because one of the cool things about Boba was his armor, you know what I mean? You got to see all the crap he's been through all of the marks and stuff in his armor, how beat up it was and stuff. And we got to, I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say that no, I'm not going to say it. Just in case someone is here that hasn't seen Clone Wars. But it was pretty epic of what they did in the Clone Wars. And then, even the unrendered version of Clone Wars, the ones that George Lucas was going to continue to do. Now, I don't mind spoiling this because it's not gonna come. Disney canceled it. Another sucky thing they did. But there was for you guys that know Cad Bane, he's also in the Clone Wars. He was my favorite bounty hunter by far, by a long shot. But there was an unrendered episode that George Lucas was gonna put in, and it was Cad Bane. And I want to also post this on the channel when I get into more lore aspects when it comes to that, because after this marathon, I can tell you there's gonna be a lot more lore stuff for sure. Even in between, like, I still want to do lore stuff is still my priority, but there's just so much. I just reorganized my document for the channel, and I just realized how much stuff I got going on right now channel wise. And I know you guys don't see everything now, but don't worry, in time you guys will see all the little things that I got going on, all the little projects and stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, what's up, Trust Plus? How's it going, dude? Hope you're doing well. One thing that bothers me about this movie is that the clone animation looks really dated, especially during the Geonosis scenes. Yeah, but if you think about it, right? If you think about it, what George Lucas has done, just Star Wars as a whole, they've done some revolutionary stuff. Obviously, if you go to compare it to a lot of the newer movies, or even a couple years down the road, past this, when this movie was made, it's gonna look better, right? Because George Lucas was experimenting with new stuff. You know what I mean? He's made a lot of revolutionary things in the film industry. You know what I mean? Industrial Lights and Magic's no joke. It's a decent company. Like I had to do what was it? I think it was a 12-page paper or something. It was like a 12-page research paper for a class that I had. And he let us do it on anybody we wanted. So I did it on George Lucas. So I know all the type of stuff that George Lucas went through, and what he did to not only the film industry but tons of other industries as well. So I mean, yeah, people complain about the CGI and stuff, but it really isn't bad for its time if you think about it. I mean, obviously some things aren't the greatest, but what do you got to compare it to? There's so much new stuff that they brought into this film, so I'm personally okay with it. Yeah, it's kind of a shame most of the film is CGI, but it's really good when it came out. Yeah, exactly. So obviously it doesn't stack up with like sequel stuff, but they got a lot more to work with. In fact, George Lucas, and I think Kathleen Kennedy even said this in the Mandalorian gallery when they're behind the scenes and stuff, is that the stuff that they're dealing with now, all that technology that we're working with now in Star Wars, that's what he wanted to do, and he visioned back when he was making the first films, you know what I mean, for Star Wars. So his mind, technology-wise, was like 10 years in advance for these movies. So it's kind of crazy to think about how far it's come and how smart George was when it came to this, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's pretty good. What were we talking about before? Oh yeah, it was Cad Bane versus Boba Fett, right? Basically, obviously, in the Clone Wars, like I said, Boba's been earning my respect, kind of moving his way above the ladder, right? And I would consider him, probably, I'd say above Jango at that point after watching Clone Wars, because he did quite a bit in Clone Wars, and as it gets older, it's just going to get better from there. And in Legends, yeah, I'm not really including Legends. He's done a crap ton in Legends. He's fought Vader in Legends. He's done all kinds of stuff. But I'm talking about canon-wise, right? In my heart, and that's why I believe there's personal canon, right? That unrendered version, or that unrendered episode of Cad Bane versus Boba, well, basically it was like a whole bounty hunter episode, right? You had Bosk there, Embo, you had all these different bounty hunters, and it was a duel, right? Think of it as like a Wild West duel, but it was between Cad Bane and Boba Fett. And basically, right, they both pull out their guns at the same time and shoot each other in the head, right? But guess who had Mandalorian armor? Guess who had that Beskar steel on? Boba. And that's why he won. That's why there's a dent in his helmet. That's why I didn't think that he didn't remove that dent in The Mandalorian when he freshly cleaned up his armor. You know what I mean? Out of respect for that. Because if I was Boba and I had all those different markings and stuff, I'd be most proud of that one just because of all the crap Cad Bane has done. The fact that he killed Cad Bane, though, that's what puts him as my top guy. You know what I mean? He's there for me. That's the ultimate thing that earned my respect for Boba. But other than that, if it wasn't for Clone Wars, it wasn't for that, Jango all the way, for sure. But, and then we got more stuff with Boba and the Mandalorian and stuff. So, yeah, and then we're having the Book of Boba Fett coming out this year as well. So, it's going to be hard really not to like Boba Fett, because Boba Fett is finally getting all the respect, and we're learning more about him, so he's going to be getting a lot more respect that he already deserves, / kind of already has, just because of his looks and stuff, Hey, who is your favorite bounty hunter? Boba. And it used to be Boba, but it's Boba now, 100%. Once things started to come out, between Clone Wars and now Mandalorian, and now we're getting the show about him, I mean, it's going to be hard to beat him. Cad Bane has done some crazy stuff, don't get me wrong, But the fact that he was the one that was able to kill Cad Bane in a straight up duel, that says something. That definitely says something. That has a lot of weight to his credibility. And I feel like he knows that. That's why he keeps the debt there. You know what I mean? That's just me, though. That's what I think in my personal canon. I mean, technically, since it wasn't rendered and it wasn't officially put out, it doesn't really count. I don't care. It would have been put out by George Lucas. It would have. I mean, it obviously some things probably would have been changed, but for the most part, something as big as that does not change for the most part. When they're that late into the game, when it's about to get released and stuff like that, when the animation is done and all they gotta do is render it and do all that other jazz. So, yeah, definitely Boba. There was one thing I was gonna say though. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. I wonder how Boba survived the Sarlacc pit. Well, I really hope that in the book of Boba Fett we get more information about that, right? I mean, obviously his armor was the number one thing that had to do about it. I mean, we don't know all the details and stuff, but we know his armor is what made him survive. You know, that Beskar steel. You know what I mean? He was able to get out of there through that because the acid probably hasn't worked through his armor and stuff yet. So probably was able to use the last little bit of juice in his jetpack to get out of there, possibly. Who knows? Maybe someone helped him. Who knows? There's a lot we don't know. I hope we get that in the Book of Boba Fett. And another thing I would like in the Book of Boba Fett, I'm not going to be mad if we don't get this. I'm not expecting that we're going to get this. But if I could get a brief mention of him killing Cad Bane, you know, just kind of like how they did it very subtle in the Solo movie about Aura Singh, right? That right there gave me credibility for Beckett, right? Right when he said, oh, you know, hey, you killed Aura Singh, you know. To me, I'm like, crap. He killed Aura Singh? Boom, baby. Put him on my list. He gets credit. He just killed Aura Singh? Boom. That gives him credit in my book. You know, that's more respect to you. You know, gives them that bit of a like. It's amazing how they can work character development that way. They can build up this one character and be like, oh, you did this to this person? Well, they got a lot of cred, man. If you did that, then you get a lot of cred type of deal. At least that's how I think, right? So I really hope that would be cool if they could at least give us a little Easter egg mention in there, kind of like what they did in Solo with Aura Singh, but not planning on it, but I would absolutely love that. In fact, that'd probably be my favorite part of the entire show if they said something like that, to be honest. But, yeah. Man, chat's kind of dying out today, huh? Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Any more questions? Anything? Anything at all? Something you just wanted to bring up? There's a foreshadowing moment in there. Obviously, I tried to mention it to you guys. I don't know if you guys saw it, though. The shadow with Anakin Skywalker, it's like Darth Vader's helmet, right? Some of the music kind of foreshadows, you know, some things that we see in the original trilogy and stuff. Theoretically, who do you think would win, Gray? Cad Bane and Jango versus Boba and Bosk? Ooh. You give me... Okay, alright. Cad Bane and Jango on a team. And Boba and Bosk. Dude, why? Why? That's a hard matchup, man. If I had to pick, I feel like I'm leaning more towards Cad Bane and Jango, to be honest. Just because I feel like Bosk... Not to say Bosk is bad, because he's definitely good. We got to see some more about him in the Clone Wars as well. But I don't know. Cad Bane and Jango know what they're doing. I mean, obviously we don't know a whole lot about Jango, but even in Legends, Jango was freaking... he knew what he was doing, to put it lightly. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'd say Cad Bane and Jango, if I had to pick. If you put Cad Bane and Boba, that's the thing, though, right? I really would have... Dude, I can't, every time I think about it, it just makes me more and more mad at Disney or Lucasfilm or whatever. I wasn't Lucasfilm because it was Disney that bought Lucasfilm. So yeah, it just gets me more and more mad at Disney when they bought it from George Lucas, because the stuff we could have gotten would be like 1,000 times better than the sequel trilogy. And I'm like, just drives me nuts. Even better than The Mandalorian, in my opinion. You know, all this cool stuff we're getting from The Mandalorian. Think about all the cooler stuff we could have gotten if Clone Wars continued. And it was. It was... Dude, imagine that bounty hunter arc. Dude, if you guys have seen The Box, when I mean The Box, it's the Clone Wars episode called The Box. I forgot what season it was. Could have been season 3, but I could be wrong. That episode, dude, I absolutely loved. We got to see a bunch of different bounty hunters and stuff. Imagine that, but a full arc of them in a future season of Clone Wars. That would be something for sure. I would love that. But I think that's everything I wrote on my paper here. Yep, he just talked about Sifo-Dyas, the librarian. Annie's arc about being whiny. You know, writing could be better, but overall I'm so happy with it. Oh yeah, okay, another thing I wanted to bring up. Just in case you guys, I'm sure you guys already know this, but I'm going to bring it up just in case because, you know, some of my friends just like to throw this in my face for whatever reason. Because when I tell them, you know, Attack of the Clones is my second favorite Star Wars film, they always throw this in my face. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. They always throw that in my face, no matter how many times, right? But, and I tell him this every time, it's a metaphor. He doesn't physically, you know what I mean, like, hate sand. You know, if there was sand on Coruscant, right, like, let's say there's a little sandbox, literally, or something, right? He's not going to be like, oh, I don't want to go near the sandbox. You know, he's lived on Tatooine all of his life, you know, which is a desert planet. That's what he's comparing to. That's what he hates. And I feel like that line, believe it or not, whether people like to admit it or not, somewhat, I mean, it could have been phrased differently, but it somewhat could contribute to the story. And let me finish. I'll explain what I mean by that. And what I mean by that is when he's Vader, right? There is a reason, you know, we got to understand, like, why doesn't Vader just go to Tatooine or go to this place or go to that place? Because of his memories. All these painful memories. Every time he's gone to Tatooine, something horrible has happened. Why would he want to go back? That's what he's comparing it to. You know, it's coarse and rough and irritating from not only, I mean, yeah, from a physical standpoint, right? But also a mental standpoint as well, where he grew up. You know, slavery. His mom died. You know, everything just bad happens on those desert planets for him. So why would he want to go back? You know what I mean? So that, I don't know. It makes sense to me. Obviously, could have been a better choice of words, but I just had to put that out there for all those people that are like, throw that in those people that like this movie and they throw that in their face. I don't feel like that's a legit argument to why that whole film was a bad film. That's my standpoint on that. What do you guys think? Agree, disagree? I don't know. What else? We talked about, there's a lot of evidence in this movie about Darth Jar Jar. I'm not going to go over every little thing, but who knows, maybe I might make a video on that sometime in the future. And yeah, I already talked about what I'd love in this era, or at least before episode 2, between Obi and Anakin. So yeah, I got everything down that I want to talk about or mention on my piece of paper. So I'm guessing you guys have already talked about everything you guys want to. Because I'm looking at chat, and it's pretty dead. So, I mean, that's fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and end the stream once chat dies out and we basically run out of things to talk about, which it looks like it has happened. But before I do end it, I want to let you guys know next Friday we are watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the movie. All right, we'll be discussing that. The following Friday we're getting into the Clone Wars show. We'll be watching like the first 6 episodes. I put it in the video that's in the pinned comment and stuff, but I believe it's the first 6 episodes. We'll be watching like 6 at a time and stuff, which is going to be good. I'll do some research to see if there's any place you guys can get it other than Disney Plus. And yeah, I'll be also doing another watch party on my other channel called Gray Plays Games. So if you guys want to go over there, watch something with me, I'll be doing that. I was thinking about maybe continuing the Marvel Marathon, but I went on Disney Plus, you know, to go ahead and watch this. And I totally forgot about the episode of WandaVision today. So I want to watch today's WandaVision episode, but that's not very long. So I don't want to watch something in addition to that. So I'm going to be watching the newest episode of WandaVision. So if you guys haven't seen that, head over there with me. You'll be watching episode 8, I believe. And then after that, I'll be watching, maybe, I'm thinking, Monk. Have you guys ever heard of that show? Hopefully not. That way you guys can watch a brand new show. It's always nice to have a new show that you enjoy. Hopefully you guys would enjoy that. And by the way, you don't need any subscription service to watch Monk. Well, I need to, but it's free. And I'll show you guys exactly how to get that over there on Gray Plays Games, alright? Yeah, I agree. He doesn't literally dislike Stan. Stan probably just gives him PTSD. Yeah. I've just been listening. I don't really type a chat. Alright, no worries, man. You don't have to. It's just more of like if you have something to say or if you have any questions, then that's when you can chat. But yeah, no worries. You don't have to be in chat. But yeah, I'll meet you guys over on Gray Plays Games. Just give me about 30 minutes or something to set it up. So I'm assuming it might be set up around 9 is basically when we're about to get started. So hope to see you guys over there. Thank you all for watching this with me. I had a lot of fun. Hope you guys did as well. And may the Force be with you always.